during the Bush administration was contracted along with several other scientists to devise a list. This was the mandate. They came to them and said, here's the issue. We have crashed UFOs and we have recovered biological entities that are not of this world. What would be the pros? And they didn't tell them if this was true or not. They said, what would be the pros of disclosure? What would be the cons? And I want you to attach a numerical value to each one. So disruption of government, religion, politics, all these different things. Like what would happen to the nuclear family? Like what happens if we know we're not alone? What happens if we are visited on a consistent basis? What happens? And when they did it at the end, all of the scientists had achieved similar conclusions that the cons outweighed the pros in terms of numbers. And so because of that, they decided not to disclose. So this was like during the 1980s, I guess? 90s? When was Bush 2? No, okay, 2000. So 2000. So it was around then. Yeah.
Yeah, what do they know? What do they tell you the first day?
I don't think they tell you the first day. I think the president is a temp. The president's like a substitute teacher. I don't think you get to know much. I don't think Trump knows.
Well, I think they probably
told him some things.
I worry that the government is like, there's a theory that there hasn't really been an American government since 1945.
Kennedy. No, since 63.
Well, because everything got siloed.
Mm-hmm.
Like in wartime, everyone's talking to everyone and making everything happen, and it's like, okay,
right,
we're at war,
right.
And then everything gets siloed, and okay, that's a secret thing, that's a secret thing, that's a secret thing, and then the guy that's holding the secret keys retires, and
right.
that whole department's just
right.
funded forever, but you don't quite, they're not talking to them.
And then you have people that are in great positions of power that get off on keeping these secrets and keeping this information and having the knowledge and keeping it only to themselves, especially if they're manipulating things. This was like a big problem with the CIA, and this led to when they had the disclosures and the Church Commission, and when people found out what the CIA was up to and all the weird shit they did with MK Ultra, and
oh my God, that book! I got to thank you for that book.
Oh, Chaos, incredible.
So
can't recommend it enough.
I listened to the episode. I went back and listened to your episode with the guy, and I went, okay, this is interesting. What's he called again?
Tom O'Neill.
Tom O'Neill. He's got a new podcast, by the way.
Does he?
He's got a new podcast where he's kind of going like an in-depth interview. It's with Rick Rubin's. You know, Rick Rubin's got a podcast. It's his podcast company has done one with him.
I didn't even know Rick Rubin had a podcast company. That's funny. I love Rick. I text him all the time. I didn't even know he had a podcast
He's got a great podcast.
He's the best.
Oh, he's such a...
He'll entertain any ideas. He's fucking...
He's wonderful.
He gets down the rabbit hole.
But I listened to the thing, and then I went away and I read the book, and the book is like, you kind of read it and go, well, this can't be, like, that's an extraordinary chapter, this can't get any weirder, and then you go, oh sorry, Charles Manson is connected to the Kennedy assassination, and, sorry, he's also connected to the MK Ultra experiments, which are real, which sound so much fucking weirder than any other conspiracy theory you've ever heard.
And they're real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, the book is just...
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's a great book. It's all history. It's all the United States history. And it's what happens when people have unchecked power. They do crazy things. And what our government did was a lot of mind control experiments rather. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot.
There's a lot of crazy shit that's happened in this country. So I would not be surprised if they do have knowledge of us being visited and they've kept it under wraps. Just as they kept a lot of things under wraps. They've infantilized a giant percentage of our population to just trust the government and trust the science and trust the people in charge and trust authority. And
I don't know,
those
though, because
people,
if they visited America, then they visited China and Russia, and you sort of think, well, balance of probability, all of those governments don't agree about anything. Like, so the idea of going, well, if they're here, they're everywhere.
According to Hal Puthoff, the United States is in possession of recovered vehicles, and so are other countries. And there's essentially like a Manhattan Project type deal where the race to reverse engineer this technology is at a very high level. and governments are involved in it, and they try to keep things as secret as possible because whoever can achieve the results first will have immense technological superiority over all of its enemies. If these things are real, if they do have some sort of a device that can move through space in a way that we just can't even fathom, traverse immense distances almost instantaneously. This is what we've been told by the people that have worked with these things. And, it's hard to know. It's hard to know what's bullshit. It's hard to know because it all sounds like bullshit. But it would sound like bullshit unless you experience it.
I'm sorry, but that thing of like, yeah, it does sound like bullshit in a sense. But then there's also the other thing of like, if you showed me that flip phone in 1982, I'd have gone, well, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You can't fold a TV, so you can all fuck off.
Right. How's the TV that thin anyway?
What are you talking about? What do you mean you can make calls on it? What?
Right.
How is there a camera on your phone? What's going? Like we get used to shit so quick. Like someone had that thing of like, I don't know when the Wright brothers first flew the plane, but it's like 60 years later we land on the moon.
Not only that, we dropped a nuclear bomb out of one of those planes in less than that.
Yeah,
that was like 50 years.
It's
from the invention of that stupid plane, the first plane with like wood and fucking cloth and shit.
But this is Eric's point of like, if you Eric Weinstein and who else says it? The guy I used to work for. He often sort of says, if you minus the screens from the room, we're in the 1970s.
Yes.
Which I think is kind of like, what's happened since then? What are they working on that we haven't? Like, is there going to be a ta-da moment where they pull back the sheet and go, yeah, look at that?
Well, I think there's probably multiple things that are happening simultaneously. And then the AI one, if that one hits, all the other ones are going to seem trivial. Because the AI one is essentially the creation of a superior being, a thing that is more intelligent than us, has all the access to information that humans have, plus the ability to engineer itself.
I think some of them have been here. I had a guy on yesterday. His name's Hal Putoff. He's a physicist that's been working with the government with this stuff forever. He said they have 10 retrieved crafts that are of non-human intelligence, 10 that the United States is in possession of. And he said during the Bush administration, during George Bush's administration, they were contemplating disclosure to the American people. And they wanted to get all these physicists and scientists and psychologists to make a list of things that would be negatively impacted by disclosure and things that would be positively impacted by disclosure, and give them a numerical value, like a 0 to 10 value. And when they calculated it all up at the end of the day, the cons outweighed the pros, and they decided not to disclose. So during the Bush administration, during George Bush's administration, during 9/11, during that time period, they were contemplating, this is 2004, they were contemplating having disclosure and releasing to people the fact that we are in possession of non-human intelligent crafts. They have recovered biological entities, meaning beings from another planet that are preserved that we have, and that non-human crafts are visiting this planet, or might not even be visiting. They might actually be here. They might have bases in the ocean. They might have bases somewhere in the mountains, but that this is a real thing. So he started working on this in 2004, and he's 100% convinced that we're not alone.
It's been movies about it.
Yeah.
This is how do you
Close
call
Encounters?
it? Some 51.
Area 51.
Area
Yeah.
51. Listen, nothing will give me more joy. As a young boy, I always thought, man, could I be the guy that finds E.T.? It wouldn't be cool.
Yeah.
And especially if scenes is a good alien species that is an alien species of goodness. 'Cause
Hopefully.
Imagine
Yeah.
it's a science fiction movie and planets like us is part of, let's say they're here, and let's say that all the, junk food and extra calories and the obesity pandemic is actually something like this alien civilization has orchestrated. And so as we become fatter, they're going to be able to recollect more protein to take back to their planets. Okay, that can be a great, next big movie, and then we'll eat seeds, and they'll take it with us, and they'll put us in the planet, and at our stomachs, we'll have potatoes in their fields. I don't know. But I only will say that if that already happened, and the government, the U.S. government, number one, seems everything only happens in America. All the great movies of the world, everything happens in America. All the science fiction movies. And me, as a young boy, like, that's why I wanted to come to America, because, man, the aliens never visit Spain. It's always America. Everything cool always happens in America. And that's, I guess, why I wanted to come. But I will say that if already something like that happened, and we've not invaded again, means that they're good aliens, let's hope. But I will say that at this moment, our government will be already sharing with all of us something that will forever change the present and the future of humanity.
You think they would already share it?
Why not?
No, I'll tell you why not. Because he explained it to me yesterday. There's a bunch of problems. One of the problems is they've been studying this stuff for decades. Studying this stuff, back engineering crafts, all that stuff takes money. And the way they get that money is by lying. They lie to Congress. So they misappropriate funds. So they lie about where money is going, which puts people in jail. So in order for them to tell the truth, they have to open themselves up to serious criminal prosecution. Like you're in deep trouble. You've misappropriated funds. You've lied to Congress. And there's probably some fraud involved in that too. As soon as you get a bunch of people that can lie to Congress, who knows where all the money went? You know, money's moving around. And then there's also the fact that the way you work on these crafts, you have to use defense contractors because they're the ones who make jets. They're the ones who make spaceships. Like, you can't do it on your own. You have to bring in these scientists. So you have to bring in private industry. So when you bring in private industry, now you have the United States government, the intelligence agencies embedded in private industry, and then their competitors suffer. So if the competitors go under, then the competitors could sue. Hey, you gave, Raytheon. You gave Raytheon this special generator that you've back engineered from some flying saucer. Why didn't you give it to General Electric? Why didn't you give it to this company or that company? It's like, it's all Lockheed Martin. There's too many problems in terms of legal ramifications, prosecutions. People are going to lose their careers. They're going to be brought in front of Congress. They're going to have to testify. The only way that you're going to really have disclosure at this point is amnesty. The government is going to have to say, listen, let's let the past be the past. No one's going to get in trouble. But for the greater good of humanity, we need to know what the fuck is going on. So tell us what's going on. And that's a tough
So
one
you
to
mentioned
swallow.
about aliens living in the ocean. That's Atlantis.
Well, it's not Atlantis.
But technically,
that's a
it's
thought.
Atlantis, which is a city under the water. Which
No, Atlantis was a city above.
correct, but
Yeah.
technically somewhere submerged, and still they're looking for Atlantis.
Well, they think they found
The
Atlantis.
pyramids, and some of the drawings and paintings. That, we can go to Peru with the Incas, and we can go with the Mayas
Sure,
to
yeah,
Guatemala, and it's a lot of people that always they've been trying to make connections of things they found that they say already we made contact in previous civilizations on
Right.
planet Earth. But I have a hard time believing that this has already happened. And I respect the opinion of obviously who seems he's an expert and spent a lot of time. And I see that you believe in it. The side of me that is the boy that will want to believe that there are other planets with people and we are not alone, I will be full of joy.
Yes.
So
Hopefully.
I
Unless
hope
it's a
that
planet
if there are
of-
good people and that happens,
Yeah.
that you and I and everybody else around the world, maybe that's the moment that the world becomes one. And all of a sudden we are all fighting. You remember what was the movie? Independence Day.
Yes.
If they are the bad guys, you and I,
Yeah.
you will be doing jiu-jitsu against an alien species, and me, I will be with two pens, I don't know, crushing their heads. But let's hope that they are more like E.T.,
Yeah.
no like alien.
Well, I would imagine if you look at the trajectory of human life on this planet, the world is safer than it's ever been. People are smarter
than they've ever been. People are more aware. We have more access to information, and generally, people are kinder and less tolerant of evil than they have ever been before.
If you enjoyed today's episode on JRE Plus, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you.